to set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
For the first time ever, AKAPAD, we're doing our own awards season. Golden Globe nominations dropped today. By the way, be on the lookout. I think I wanted to do a quick rundown. So we're going to do a supplemental episode between Wednesday and or Thursday and Friday, Wednesday and Thursday. But it's coming soon. But it's award season, and for the first time ever on this podcast, the Film Buff Podcast, Peter A. DeLuca coming to you from Philadelphia, PA. Center City, Philadelphia. The town I love. I love this city. So for a lot of years, I struggled with this, and we're doing a awards show my way, and it just excites me. So I know I was teasing the Thriller. The Thriller award will be the next episode. I said that at the end of our previous episode, which was Good Boy, aka the best horror movie of the year. We're going to do one for you, one for me. This is Kingdom of Heaven, 2005. This is my most watched movie of the year. Now, I watched a lot of F1. The Brad Pitt masterpiece. I say masterpiece a little bit, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But holy crap, I love the music for that movie. I love the way it's shot. I love the story. But Kingdom of Heaven, there was just a couple weeks where I was doing two things. I was watching this movie and then just endlessly learning about the Crusades. And I've long said that this is one of the most overlooked movies that we have. Period. It's directed by Ridley Scott. It's written by William Monahan. And we get two criticisms if we were to scratch this movie on the surface. And by that I mean social media, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. One of them is that the Muslims in this movie are portrayed as geniuses, and everyone else defending their land against the Muslims. The Christians, the Jews, the Israelites, they're buffoons. I never got that from this movie. I got one side being ruthless and one side being courageous, and that kind of toggles between some of these characters. The other weird criticism is that this movie's not historically accurate. AKAPADers, Kingdom of Heaven is one of the most historically accurate movies ever put onto celluloid, ever broadcast to a giant screen. There's shots in this movie, and we're talking about the wide lens stuff. It's just jaw-dropping. Orlando Bloom's character, his quest, which is somewhat very similar to what we see in other movies, like this character kind of needs to go into destitute, needs to hit rock bottom, and then he finds a purpose, or in this case he finds a crusade. And historically, this is the end, I believe, of the second crusade that leads into the third crusade, because the Muslims were just all in all just massive army kicking ass, and at this point I may be getting my crusade count wrong, but what happens is that there's more of an alliance after this, to take back the Holy Land, more kingdoms and more territories gather. So it's wild. But AKAPADers, the way that this movie is shot, the way this movie is cinematography, John Matheson, I love this. Henry Gregson Williams, this is our composer. There's just so much to love about this movie. And what I prefer is there's a director's cut. I believe that's 30 to 40 minutes longer than what came out theatrically. And here's the wild thing. When this movie came out, it kind of came out around, I want to say Troy and Alexander, where historical big army dramas were somewhat in vogue, and they were kind of positioned to compete alongside or with or against or fall into the taste of the people that liked Lord of the Rings, this giant army stuff, the things that they could do now with just with the special effects, and you can have armies that stretched all the way into the horizon, and it looked real. This is what Peter Jackson and Lord of the Rings like unlocked. And along the way, we get kind of like these serious stories. Even Troy, like a very serious story, very serious saga that is embedded in history. A lot of it too. A lot of sand. There's a lot of sand here. There's a lot of sand in Troy. There's a lot of sand in Alexander, the Oliver Stone movie too. Now, keep in mind, these three movies are three fantastic movies. Kingdom of Heaven is the best of all of them. Troy, number 2, Alexander, number 3. And Alexander, too, much maligned, but for whatever reason, I think that movie, too. Like, these are... Kingdom of Heaven is another masterpiece from Ridley Scott. It's more of a masterpiece that it's so perfectly overlooked. And it's a little bit of my fascination with this. And I implore all of you to find something like this in your own filmography, your own go-to. You should have go-tos that are maligned movies that have been dragged through the mud. And the best part about it is often you're right, they're wrong. That's the best thing. A lot of film conversation today gets set in stone and it catches fire. And it's even more evident today when we have more influencers that kind of set the tone of what we're supposed to believe and feel about a movie. Again, no discussion about intent when we review movies. So we get these very low level platitude, surfaced, kind of what are we really talking about here? Maybe you're saying that to yourself about this episode. But we get unfocused, unthought out opinions, and we just get this low hanging fruit, emotional barf, and that's really what it is. Now, it doesn't mean through that some of these reviewers and some of these conversations about movies are incorrect. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. But I'm just talking about the overall attitude of this practice, which is it hurts film history. It really does. Kingdom of Heaven at this point should be at the top of everyone's list, as we were wrong about this movie. We overlooked this movie. Oscar season, Golden Globe season, award season overlooked this movie, and I continuously go back to this film, and those are a lot of questions I ask myself as I'm watching this movie. It's a beautiful story. It looks beautiful. It is bloody. It's violent. It's just off the chain, and Ridley Scott is making a medieval period masterpiece on the level of, I'm going to say it, Ben-Hur. I'm going to say it, Quo Vadis. You guys remember that? Quo Vadis? Of Beckett. And the list goes on and on. There's something to where even when we watch something like 10 Commandments and Ben-Hur, and we say to ourselves, man, only today, what would this look like today? And Ridley Scott answered that. Even what a movie like El Cid, you go there, you sit down and get your popcorn, you watch El Cid, and then you watch Kingdom of Heaven, and you will see a generation that grew up watching these movies, and a generation that has the access that Ridley Scott did in 2005. I'm sorry, AKAPADers. I freaking love this movie. I'm grateful for it. And yeah, I'm probably going to watch it tonight or tomorrow. Like I said, this movie's been on repeat for quite some time, and it triggered me to learn and understand so much more about the Crusades, where, without talking about history, I had a lot wrong with my understanding of that as well. All right, AKAPADers, I love you. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.